Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Snippy Geek. Today I'm going to review a movie by the name of The Prophecy. The Prophecy is pretty much at its basis a fantasy horror film. It stars actors such as Christopher Walken, you see on the front cover, other actors and actresses such as Elias Koteas, Virginia Madsen, Eric Stoltz, Viggo Mortensen, and Amanda Plummer. That's pretty much the main cast among many other people. This film is directed by a guy by the name of Gregory Whitten. He is known for doing. He's only directed two things in his entire life, but he's written many scripts. He's known mainly for writing, of course, the script for this film, the script for all the other Prophecy films, because there's 3 or 4 other sequels to this film, and then he also is known for doing the Highlander movies and the Highlander TV series scripts. So that's some of the stuff that Gregory Whitten has done. This film was made in the year 1995, and like I said, it spawned, let's see how many sequels it had. It spawned 4 sequels: Prophecy 2 in 98, The Ascent in 2000, Uprising in 05, and then Forsaken also in 05. So, like I said, there's several sequels to this movie. I haven't seen the sequels, and I will only be talking about the first film in this review. So pretty much, let's get to the plot of the fantasy horror film titled The Prophecy, starring, of course, Christopher Walken, you see on the front cover. So pretty much, The Prophecy is pretty much this heaven versus hell war movie, pretty much at its basis. It has a lot of mythology that I think is really cool behind it, so I won't go too in-depth of the mythology of the movie because I don't want to give too many things away. But pretty much we have heaven is not what it used to be. Several of the angels in heaven are now living on earth as humans, and there's a few of these angels that have now turned bad. They haven't really turned into demons, but Gabriel, played by Christopher Walken, he has sort of turned into a bad guy, and now he wants to sort of, have his own little thing. And I don't want to say too much more, but and then there was this guy that was going to be a priest, but he sort of started to lose his faith, and now he's a police officer in a city, and that's kind of the plot of the film. I don't want to say too much more because I don't want to give anything away, but that's pretty much the plot and basis of the fantasy horror film titled The Prophecy, made in the year 1995. My opinions and thoughts on this film: I really enjoyed this film as a whole. The most interesting thing about the film, actors, actresses aside, is just the mythology behind it. Like I said, the plot for this film is just really cool. It's really cool to see him, Christopher Walken play, the Archangel Gabriel. And in this movie, Gabriel is not a good guy, he's a bad guy. His heart has turned bad, and it's just really cool to see that. I really thought that Christopher Walken in this movie had a very, I guess you could say, just a stellar performance in general. And his performance in this movie, I thought, was just astounding and phenomenal. I really enjoyed him in this movie. Definitely Christopher Walken was definitely one of the best things about this movie. The main guy also, I don't know the actor's name, but the main police officer, that I was talking about, who lost his faith pretty much. I really enjoyed him in this movie too. He has a lot of cool, memorable dialogue, a lot of cool, memorable quotes in this movie, and I also really enjoyed him. There's a lot of scenes between him and Christopher Walken, and then they kind of try to outwit each other in the clever words that they say, and I really enjoyed, them playing off each other. I really enjoyed that. Another person that I enjoyed in this movie is Viggo Mortensen, from Lord of the Rings and The Road and Hidalgo. He's been in several things. Anyways, Viggo Mortensen in this film plays Lucifer, or Satan, or the devil, or whatever you want to call him. He plays Satan in this movie, and I really thought that Viggo Mortensen stole the show in several of the scenes in this movie. Viggo Mortensen is, he's almost, he's almost a good guy in this movie because of the way, because he starts to help out the main character, and he's almost. But then he starts to stray away and turn bad. So Lucifer is almost a good guy at some parts in this movie, and I just really enjoyed Viggo Mortensen's performance as a whole too. Just stellar acting, stellar dialogue. The script in this movie I thought was just really on par with several other movie scripts I've seen in the past, and just recently also. Just the script is just cool. There's several cool lines that Christopher Walken says. Towards the end, he says something about I'm gonna crack someone's skull. I enjoyed that line, and like I said, the mythology behind the film is just really cool. Seeing these these angels that used to be in heaven come to live on earth as humans, to protect what heaven was, because heaven is no longer what it once was. And there's several people that start to like question God in the movie, and they ask, why God has let the world become the way it was. And then certain human characters try to answer these questions. And overall, the Prophecy movie just has a lot of, I guess you could say, symbolic and just religious undertones to it that I really enjoyed also. Really cool stuff. I just really enjoyed this movie. Nothing really bad to say at all about it, because you have, Christopher Walken. It's just, it says, what does it say? It says a must-see by Boston Globe. Entertaining, top-notch cast. I would agree with that. A very good top-notch cast. And then the Post-Gazette from Pittsburgh says chilling. Definitely Christopher Walken does steal a lot of the scenes, because he's the villain. Like I said, he plays Gabriel the Archangel in this movie, and he's the villain. He does steal a lot of the scenes. It does have a decent amount of blood and gore. It is rated R, so you get all the good blood and gore that you need for a movie of this range. But overall, I just really enjoyed seeing these characters play off of each other, because I thought everyone in this movie was stellar. My favorite part in this movie is probably, I'd say, about the last 15 minutes of the movie, when you really get to see Viggo Mortensen, playing Lucifer in the movie The Prophecy in '95. You really get to see Viggo Mortensen playing Lucifer the most during those last 15 minutes. You really get to see him, just play that role. So that was cool. And then you really get to see Christopher Walken just go, all at it towards the main character and just show him fully what he has, and you really get to see, a sick side of him pretty much. And then there's another guy, and he's in about the first 40 minutes of the movie. He's an angel also, and his name is Simon, and I really enjoyed him too. He has the movie actually starts off with some dialogue by him. Like the first few minutes is like him standing there, and he's like saying, like the Second War and all this kind of stuff, And anyways, Simon's character, I don't know the actor's name, but Simon's character in the movie I also really enjoyed. He's just really cool. He's only in the first 30 or 40 minutes, but I really enjoyed him. He's just kind of a cool character. Just overall, I really enjoyed him. Oh, it's Eric Stoltz is the one who plays Simon in the movie The Prophecy. Anyways, 10 out of 10, full on, 5-star rating. Really enjoyed this. This, if you ask me, is a must-watch if you're into any of these actors or into the whole fantasy horror, heaven vs. hell thing. This is definitely a must-watch for the 90s era. Anyways, that's my review for the fantasy horror film by the name of The Prophecy, made in 1995, starring Christopher Walken, among many other actors and actresses. Once again, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below, and I'll see you guys later for more videos by Centipede Geek.